For many women, intimacy is rarely experienced as a purely physical event. It is deeply interwoven with emotional meaning, personal history, and the quality of the relationship they share with their partner. When physical closeness occurs in a context of trust and mutual respect, it often carries a strong emotional charge. This emotional layer can amplify feelings of connection, affection, and bonding. The body and mind are not separate systems operating independently, they interact continuously. Hormonal responses that occur during intimate moments can heighten emotional sensitivity, making the experience feel more significant and memorable. As a result, what might appear on the surface as a physical act can resonate internally as an affirmation of closeness and emotional security. Emotional intimacy shapes how physical experiences are interpreted. When a woman feels emotionally safe with her partner, she is more likely to associate intimacy with warmth, acceptance, and validation. This sense of safety allows her to relax and be present in the moment, rather than feeling guarded or anxious. Emotional safety is built over time through consistent behavior, honest communication, and respect for boundaries. Without this foundation, the same physical experience can feel uncertain or even stressful. Worries about judgment, misunderstanding, or unmet expectations can intrude, demonstrating how emotional context directly influences physical perception. Another important factor is vulnerability. Intimacy naturally involves a degree of openness, and for many women, this openness extends beyond the physical. It can touch on fears of rejection, hopes for closeness, and desires for reassurance. Being vulnerable requires trust that one's feelings and boundaries will be honored. When that trust is present, vulnerability can deepen emotional bonds and foster a stronger sense of partnership. When it is absent, vulnerability may trigger discomfort or self-protection. This dynamic illustrates how emotional readiness and relational stability are central to how intimacy is experienced. Communication plays a critical role in integrating the emotional and physical aspects of intimacy. Conversations about expectations, comfort levels, and personal values help partners align their understanding of what intimacy means to each of them. When communication is open and respectful, it reduces ambiguity and strengthens emotional connection. Women who feel heard and understood are more likely to experience intimacy as collaborative and supportive rather than pressured or confusing. Effective communication also reinforces a sense of shared responsibility, reminding both partners that intimacy is a mutual experience shaped by empathy and attentiveness. Personal history and cultural influences also contribute to how women emotionally process physical closeness. Past relationships, upbringing, and societal messages about intimacy can all shape expectations and reactions. Some women may associate intimacy with commitment and long-term connection, while others may view it through a lens of personal autonomy and exploration. Neither perspective is inherently right or wrong, they simply reflect different emotional frameworks. Recognizing this diversity is important because it highlights that emotional responses to intimacy are not universal. Each woman brings her own narrative and emotional landscape into the experience. Furthermore, emotional and physical intimacy can reinforce each other in a positive cycle. When emotional connection is strong, physical closeness often feels more meaningful. In turn, satisfying physical experiences can strengthen emotional bonds by fostering feelings of closeness and appreciation. This reciprocal relationship underscores why many women perceive intimacy as a holistic experience rather than a series of isolated physical moments. It is the integration of emotional trust, vulnerability, communication, and personal meaning that gives intimacy its depth. Understanding that intimacy operates on both emotional and physical levels encourages partners to approach it with greater sensitivity and awareness. It invites a focus not only on actions but also on feelings, intentions, and mutual respect. When partners acknowledge and honor the emotional dimensions of intimacy, they create an environment where both individuals can feel valued and secure. This holistic perspective supports healthier relationships by emphasizing that true closeness emerges from the alignment of body and mind, where emotional connection enriches physical experience and physical closeness reinforces emotional trust. Trust and emotional safety are foundational elements that shape how many women experience intimacy, influencing not only their comfort in the moment, but also their broader sense of connection within a relationship. Emotional safety is the feeling of being accepted without fear of judgment, criticism, or dismissal. When this safety exists, intimacy can feel grounding and reassuring. A woman who trusts her partner is more likely to relax emotionally and physically, allowing herself to be present rather than preoccupied with doubts or concerns. This sense of ease is not accidental. It is built through repeated experiences of reliability, kindness, and respect. Trust develops gradually through consistent behavior. Small actions, keeping promises, listening attentively, responding with empathy, accumulate over time to create a stable emotional environment. When a partner demonstrates dependability, it signals that the relationship is a safe space for vulnerability. For many women, this reliability directly influences how intimacy is perceived. Physical closeness can feel like a natural extension of emotional connection when trust is strong. Conversely, when trust is fragile or inconsistent, intimacy may carry undertones of anxiety. Questions about intentions, commitment, or respect can surface, making it difficult to fully engage in the experience. Emotional safety also involves the freedom to express needs and boundaries without fear of negative consequences. In relationships where communication is encouraged and respected, women often feel more empowered to articulate what makes them comfortable or uncomfortable. This openness fosters collaboration rather than pressure. When a partner responds thoughtfully to expressed boundaries, it reinforces the belief that one's feelings matter. That reinforcement deepens emotional safety and strengthens trust. Over time, this cycle of expression and validation creates a resilient emotional bond. Another dimension of emotional safety is the absence of coercion or manipulation. Healthy intimacy is rooted in mutual willingness and shared understanding. When a woman feels that her autonomy is honored, intimacy becomes a space of partnership rather than obligation. Respect for autonomy communicates that she is valued as an individual with her own perspectives and limits. This respect is crucial because it transforms intimacy into an experience of shared choice rather than expectation. Feeling emotionally safe allows her to approach closeness with confidence instead of apprehension. Past experiences can significantly influence how trust and emotional safety are formed. Women who have encountered disappointment or betrayal in previous relationships may approach new intimacy with caution. This caution is a natural protective response, not a flaw. Building trust in such cases may require patience and consistent reassurance. A partner who understands this dynamic can contribute to healing by demonstrating transparency and steadiness. Over time, repeated positive interactions can reshape expectations and restore a sense of safety. Emotional safety is also reinforced by empathy. When a partner makes an effort to understand emotional reactions and perspectives, it communicates care and attentiveness. Empathy allows for meaningful connection because it validates feelings without minimizing them. For many women, feeling emotionally understood enhances the depth of intimacy. It creates a sense of being seen and appreciated beyond the surface level. This emotional recognition can transform moments of closeness into opportunities for deeper bonding. The presence of trust and emotional safety has ripple effects throughout the relationship. It encourages honest dialogue, reduces defensiveness, and supports mutual growth. Women who feel secure in their relationships are often more willing to share thoughts, fears, and aspirations. This openness enriches emotional intimacy and strengthens partnership. Physical closeness then becomes one expression of a broader pattern of connection characterized by respect and understanding. Recognizing the importance of trust and emotional safety highlights that intimacy is not sustained by attraction alone. It requires intentional effort to cultivate an environment where both partners feel secure. This effort includes active listening, clear communication, and consistent demonstration of respect. When these elements are present, intimacy can flourish as a positive and affirming experience. Trust acts as a stabilizing force, while emotional safety provides the space for vulnerability and connection to grow. Together, they form the framework within which meaningful intimacy can develop, supporting relationships that are both emotionally rich and resilient. Open communication is one of the most powerful influences on how women experience intimacy because it shapes expectations, reduces uncertainty, and creates a shared understanding between partners. When communication is clear and respectful, it removes much of the guesswork that can otherwise surround close relationships. Uncertainty often breeds anxiety, and anxiety can interfere with the ability to feel relaxed and connected. For many women, knowing that they can openly discuss their thoughts and feelings without fear of criticism provides a sense of stability that enhances emotional and physical closeness. Communication is not limited to words alone. It includes tone, timing, and the willingness to listen. Active listening is especially important because it signals that each partner values the other's perspective. When a woman feels genuinely heard, it strengthens her sense of importance within the relationship. This validation reduces internal tension and encourages honesty. She is more likely to express her needs, preferences, and concerns when she trusts that her partner will respond thoughtfully rather than defensively. Over time, this pattern of open exchange creates a reliable channel through which both partners can navigate sensitive topics. Discussing expectations is a key aspect of communication that directly reduces anxiety. Many misunderstandings arise when partners assume they share the same views without explicitly confirming them. Conversations about comfort levels, boundaries, and intentions help align perspectives. For women, clarity about what intimacy means within the context of the relationship can prevent confusion and emotional strain. When both partners articulate their expectations, they establish a framework that supports cooperation rather than assumption. This shared framework acts as a guide, making interactions feel more predictable and secure. Another important function of open communication is the ability to address concerns before they escalate. Small worries can grow into significant sources of stress if they remain unspoken. When a woman feels safe raising questions or uncertainties, she can resolve them collaboratively with her partner. This proactive approach prevents the accumulation of hidden tension. It also reinforces the idea that challenges can be managed together, strengthening the partnership. The act of working through concerns builds confidence in the relationship's resilience. Emotional transparency is closely tied to effective communication. Sharing feelings, whether they involve joy, hesitation, or vulnerability, deepens mutual understanding. For many women, the opportunity to express emotions openly is essential to feeling connected. Emotional transparency allows partners to respond with empathy and support. When feelings are acknowledged and respected, intimacy becomes an environment where authenticity is welcomed. This authenticity fosters trust and reduces the pressure to maintain a facade. Communication also plays a role in establishing mutual responsibility. Conversations about shared decisions encourage both partners to participate actively in shaping their relationship. This sense of partnership reduces feelings of isolation or imbalance. When a woman perceives that decisions are made collaboratively, she is more likely to feel secure and valued. Shared responsibility emphasizes that intimacy is not a one-sided experience, but a cooperative effort grounded in respect. Cultural and personal backgrounds influence communication styles, which makes adaptability an important skill. Some individuals are raised in environments where discussing emotions is encouraged, while others may find such conversations challenging. Recognizing these differences allows partners to approach communication with patience. For women navigating these dynamics, a partner's willingness to learn and adjust can significantly reduce anxiety. Adaptability demonstrates commitment to understanding rather than imposing a single style of interaction. Nonverbal communication further enriches the exchange between partners. Gestures, facial expressions, and physical cues often convey emotions that words cannot fully capture. Being attentive to these signals enhances empathy and responsiveness. When a partner is sensitive to nonverbal cues, it communicates attentiveness and care. For many women, this attentiveness reinforces the sense that their emotional state matters. Ultimately, open communication creates an atmosphere where uncertainty is replaced by clarity and collaboration. It transforms intimacy into a dialogue rather than a silent negotiation. By encouraging honesty, empathy, and shared understanding, communication reduces anxiety and fosters emotional security. Women who feel confident in their ability to communicate openly with their partners are more likely to experience intimacy as supportive and affirming. This environment of transparency and mutual respect allows relationships to grow stronger, grounded in the knowledge that both partners are committed to understanding and supporting each other. Feelings of closeness have a powerful influence on how many women experience intimacy because they shape the emotional meaning attached to the moment. Closeness is not created instantly. It develops through shared experiences, emotional availability, and consistent expressions of care. When a woman feels genuinely close to her partner, intimacy can act as a bridge that deepens that connection. It becomes more than a physical interaction. It serves as a reaffirmation of emotional bonds that have been built over time. Emotional closeness often grows from everyday interactions. Small gestures of kindness, thoughtful conversations, and moments of mutual support accumulate to create a sense of partnership. For many women, these daily expressions of care lay the groundwork for meaningful intimacy. When closeness is present, physical moments can feel like a natural extension of an already strong emotional connection. This continuity between everyday affection and intimate experiences strengthens the perception that the relationship is cohesive and secure. Closeness also fosters a sense of belonging. Feeling emotionally connected to a partner can reduce feelings of isolation and reinforce the idea that one is part of a supportive unit. During intimate moments, this sense of belonging can intensify, creating feelings of warmth and unity. For many women, this emotional resonance is central to how intimacy is interpreted. It can evoke reassurance that the relationship is stable and that both partners are invested in each other's well-being. Another aspect of closeness is mutual understanding. When partners know each other well, including preferences, fears, and emotional triggers, they can respond with greater sensitivity. This understanding enhances comfort and trust, allowing intimacy to unfold without unnecessary tension. A woman who feels understood is more likely to associate closeness with acceptance. This acceptance nurtures confidence, and encourages authenticity within the relationship. Shared vulnerability further deepens feelings of closeness. When both partners are willing to reveal their thoughts and emotions honestly, it creates a reciprocal dynamic of openness. For many women, witnessing a partner's vulnerability can strengthen emotional ties because it signals trust. Offering vulnerability in return reinforces that trust and solidifies the bond. Intimate moments often amplify this exchange, making the sense of connection feel especially vivid. Closeness can also influence how challenges are navigated within a relationship. When a strong emotional bond exists, disagreements are more likely to be approached collaboratively rather than defensively. For women who feel close to their partners, conflicts may feel less threatening because the underlying connection provides reassurance. This resilience contributes to a stable emotional environment in which intimacy can thrive. Knowing that the relationship can withstand tension without fracturing supports a sense of security. Personal history shapes how closeness is perceived and valued. Some women may prioritize emotional bonding as a central component of intimacy, while others may develop closeness gradually through shared experiences. Cultural expectations and past relationships can influence these patterns. Regardless of the path, the presence of closeness tends to enrich intimate experiences by adding emotional depth. Recognizing that closeness evolves differently for each individual encourages patience and empathy within relationships. Closeness is reinforced by consistent attention and presence. Being emotionally available, showing interest, offering reassurance, and engaging fully in shared moments communicates commitment. For many women, this attentiveness strengthens the sense that the relationship is a priority. When partners remain present with each other, intimacy becomes an opportunity to celebrate that connection rather than merely an isolated event. The interplay between closeness and intimacy often creates a reinforcing cycle. As emotional bonds deepen, intimate moments can feel more meaningful. In turn, meaningful intimacy can strengthen the sense of closeness. This reciprocal relationship highlights the importance of nurturing emotional connection outside of physical interactions. When partners invest in building closeness through communication, empathy, and shared experiences, they cultivate a foundation that supports fulfilling intimacy. Understanding the role of closeness emphasizes that relationships flourish when emotional connection is actively maintained. For many women, intimacy is most satisfying when it reflects an existing bond characterized by warmth, trust, and mutual care. Closeness transforms intimate moments into expressions of partnership, reinforcing the sense that both individuals are emotionally aligned. By valuing and nurturing closeness, partners create a relationship environment where intimacy can deepen bonds and sustain a lasting sense of connection.